Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Coming up, Wigan Ace signs a new contract. A couple of updates from York City Knights. And a ticketing update from the Rugby League World Cup Committee. And we start with the Rugby League World Cup as one of the sticking points so far in the tournament has been to do with ticket prices, and all over social media there have been complaints by fans about being priced out of actually attending games, and games that they could attend, the pricing is still a bit too high for the relative fixtures. For instance, you have the Australia versus Fiji game. 13,000 people turned up for that. More than 13,000 but turned up. But then the next day there is another game straight away, and people are expected to pay for tickets for both to view both. I know that's what the World Cup organisers from every single tournament that has a World Cup are aiming to do, to get that repeat business up and running. But the cost of living crisis, the cost of travel, tickets that could be as much as £55 are still quite high. Yes, they do student discounts or kid discounts and things like that, but they're hoping for an adult to pay X amount, whatever that ticket price may be, to alleviate the costs that they may lose, the Rugby League World Cup that is, through those extra kids tickets being sold. There's another part of it, a processing fee. You go onto that, say you're a kid under 16 or a student, seeing £2.21 for a junior or a concessionary ticket. And then there's a £4 processing fee. That's a bit high for something that you're paying double almost for a concessionary ticket for a processing fee. Shouldn't that be a percentage of the actual ticket? Anyway, the Rugby League World Cup campaign, the organisers have mentioned this in an interview and made things clear on an update through the Rugby League World Cup website. So in a Rugby League World Cup interview, the the Revenue Director, Mick Hogan, reflected on a weekend to remember on their website, and was asked, as the weekend has finally got underway with 5 fixtures down, can you give us your reflections on the weekend just gone? Reflecting on the positive, he said, it's been a good start with almost 75,000 attending the first 5 fixtures of the tournament. The North East really came out in force, and more fans attended the opening fixture from that region than any other. And then again at Kingston Park the next day, as they witnessed a brilliant Italian performance. As of yesterday, we are now the highest grossing Rugby League World Cup of all time for ticket sales income, surpassing that of the 2017 tournament. That was after 5 matches, and we're still selling for the 56 over the next 5 weeks. After which, in response to the England results against Samoa, we have, and it's interesting to note that we saw the fixture on England's route to the final being very popular over the weekend after that performance. Speaking on England's victory over Samoa and the boosting ticket sales, if there was any. The weekend was the best 2 days of sales the tournament has had for a couple of years, which is exactly what our research told us would happen. England versus France on Saturday at the University of Bolton Stadium has less than 3,000 tickets to sell, and we have released a number of restricted view seats at £25 to £10 to meet the demand. This year's tournament has now generated over £1 million more than the 2013 total in ticket sales. There are still 56 matches to sell, so we are only just getting started. In response to the social media question and also the attendances not being where they could have been, Hogan did respond. Firstly, the tournament remains hugely affordable, with tickets available from £10 for adults to £2.21 for kids. The next 3 matches have tickets starting and then goes through the 3 matches, including Doncaster's France versus Greece game last night, with Leigh Sports Village looking very reasonable, to be fair, at £15 to £5. The prices were set in 2020, long before the cost of living crisis, but the affordable tickets are out there. Like any event, there will always be a premium option available, and some matches are lower on lower priced options, as some categories have sold out, with tickets having been on sale for over 2 years. But we remain confident that our pricing structure is suitable. We have to acknowledge that those fans who purchased tickets 2 years ago as well. We promised them the best prices and availability, and their support deserves this. From all accounts, they seem to feel that the fixtures at Kingston Park and Headingley were either above or on forecast, but I'm sure I speak for everyone about the disappointment of New Zealand versus Lebanon's fixture at Warrington. It was a great game. We had the number 1 ranked side in New Zealand, famous coach in Michael Checker, and affordable tickets available. We are working hard with all our hosts throughout recategorization where possible, and been making restricted view tickets available to ensure as many as possible can access the Rugby League World Cup 2021 tickets. I'd urge fans to look at the pricing and the structure themselves on the website, as there are a lot of affordable tickets still available across the men's, women's and wheelchairs matches. Now, I have one problem with the restricted view ticket explanation. The only restricted view tickets that are available at the likes of Warrington and Bolton Wanderers are ones made by Rugby League World Cup or their broadcasters. I know that there's going to be a studio stage at the University of Bolton Stadium in the left corner from the dugouts. But they're the only restricted views that anyone at that stadium will ever get. There is no stanchions in the way. The stadium's roof is held up by trusses that go over the top, held up by the floodlights. And with the stadium being a rugby league game, there will be no segregation. So where are they talking about these restrictive views? Are they going to put them on the roof? It needs to be clear. The same goes for Warrington as well, to be fair. Warrington's Hallowell Jones Stadium, there is no restrictive views. Knowsley Road, exactly the same. Leigh, no, the same. What are they talking about? Restricted view tickets? No, they're just blocked off tickets that are expensive to someone else. That's in my opinion. I could be wrong. But I'm going to go to the stadium tonight and watch out for my video of the entire place. You tell me where the restricted views are going to be. So this part of this episode go on to York City Knights, as the Knights have decided to a little bit of a rebrand of their club. They are now called York RLFC, with the Knights being the men's team and the Valkyries are the women's team. A little bit of a change, but also a little bit of a hark back to their history. The rebrand has been made ahead of the 2023 season, in which the Knights will compete in the Championship, while the Valkyries will play in the Women's Super League. Spurred on by the Heritage Project earlier this calendar year, York's rebrand will seek to capitalise further on their 150 years history of rugby league throughout the city. leading up to the foundation of the York City Knights. The foundation was made in 1868, and up until 1989 they were just simply known as York. From 1989 to 1996 they were called the Rydale York, and from the mid-90s until their dissolution in 2002 they were called the York Wasps. The original club folded and the Knights were established to take their place and played their first season in 2003. The ladies team were founding members of the Women's Super League in 2017 and have used the same title throughout their history as well, but now go underneath the Valkyrie logo. I'm really excited for this rebrand of York RLFC and how it will help us grow in the future, enthused York chairman Clint Goodchild. Over the course of my first season with the club, I've had the privilege to meet a number of former players, all of whom have contributed massively to the history of rugby league in this city. Our first ever Heritage Weekend was the first move to realign ourselves with the history of the club prior to the reformation of the Knights, and moving forward, everyone at the York RLFC is looking forward to further strengthening that bond with our former players. To further that, the rebrand also brings into play a new logo and name of our women's team, who will be known as the Valkyrie. In the same way we wouldn't want to ask our men's to play for the team called the Dames or the Princesses, we shouldn't be asking our women to play for the Knights when there is no such thing as a female Knight. The changes do not stop, as the York were unfortunate to lose their head coach James Ford in the last couple of weeks to Wakefield, and have moved their thinking towards a coach that has been in the championship before and has just helped Keighley get promoted. It has been announced in the last week York have appointed Andrew Henderson as their head coach on a 5-year deal. Henderson leaves the role of Director of Rugby at Keighley to succeed James Ford, and at 43, the former Scotland international was a Championship Coach of the Year in 2017 when he was in charge of the London Broncos. He left at the end of the season to be Steve Price's assistant at Warrington. On taking the job, he said, "I'm really excited to be on board and I'm grateful for the opportunity that the owner Clint Goodchild has presented me. I'm really looking forward to having discussions with him that I feel that we are aligned with, and how we view the game, and how a club should be operating along with our aspirations and ambitions. York is a club with a huge amount of potential, and I feel that if we get it right, we can be a genuine Super League club in the future that will add value to that competition. I think we have got a lot to offer, and I have to give credit to James Ford. I think he left the club in a good place, and we've got the foundations of a good team that's competitive. He's given me a really good platform to work off to hopefully take this club and this team forward." And to end the episode today, it has been announced that Liam Marshall has signed a new contract with Wigan Warriors and has signed on for 3 years. The 26-year-old has signed on a new contract which will see him stay at the club until at least the end of the 2025 season, which means that he will be a one-club man up to that point with his hometown club. 121 games for the Warriors, Marshall has scored 93 tries, including the memorable 77th minute touchdown against Huddersfield at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in May this year that has helped Wigan win the Challenge Cup yet again. At Wigan St. Pat's Junior, Marshall came through the Warriors Academy before gaining first-team experience with Swinton Lions. After signing a professional contract with Wigan in 2017, Marshall made a breakthrough into the first team and has gone on to be a regular on the wing. Marshall has had to bounce back twice from lengthy injury spells. An injury in 2018 to his ACL, and suffered a serious knee ligament injury in 2020. 2022 has been arguably the most impressive season and most memorable season for Marshall, scoring 25 tries in 25 games, as well as that winning try, and becoming an England international after making his debut against Fiji earlier this month. On signing his new 3-year contract with his boyhood club, Marshall said, I'm very happy to sign this contract. It was a no-brainer for me. I didn't see myself playing anywhere else in Super League. I'd never thought it would progress the way it has for me, and I still felt like a Wigan fan even when I was playing in the academy. I wanted to keep pushing on and win more. Matt Peters played a big part in my development. During my transitional period, when I was on a part-time contract, it made sense for me to go and play Championship Rugby, and it went well for me, with Matt as my point of contact at Wigan. He's a big part in where I've got to today, and as long as I keep performing, I'm sure the relationship will continue to work well. Chris Radlinski, the executive director of Wigan Warriors and former player, said Liam is probably everybody's favourite person at the club. He brings energy and fun into the environment and has developed into a fantastic rugby league player who performs in the big stages in key moments. His try at Tottenham is up there with my greatest ever Wigan moments. I lost myself in the moment as I celebrated with my wife and kids. Was really excited because it was a winning try in a cup final, but also because it was Liam who scored it. In that moment, I was thinking about how much it meant to him and also about his mum and dad, Dave and Debbie, celebrating it. It was a brilliant sporting moment that will live with me forever. A win for one of the good guys. His head coach, Matt Peets, added, I'm delighted he signed a new contract. He's gone from strength to strength here, from a young player on the edge of the team to a leader. He's infectious in the way he goes about his rugby. We like working with him. He plays with the heart on the sleeve and he's a credit to his family. The important thing for Liam is now that he improves and develops his game. He's certainly got the potential to improve even further. Despite his good form this year, Liam Marshall did not make the England squad, but with his new contract in the bag, he can focus about improving the game like Matty Beats asked, and also target that number 5 or number 2 jersey in the England team for years to come. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are of today's episode in the comment section, as there is a couple of information from Lower League with York RLFC being reborn as the Knights and Valkyries, Liam Marshall's new 3-year contract, and also Rugby League World Cup making more tickets available. Interesting to see, but keep an eye out on my shorts in a little bit later on about this restricted view sort of situation. Don't think there really is one at the University of Bolton Stadium. You can Google it yourself, but I'll show you from Prediction. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I'll end the episode as I normally do, by wishing you all the best. So please stay safe. I'll see you in the next episode.